Oh man, oh man. I tried to go to bed early, but I couldn't. So I came downstairs to watch a movie. It's not even late. We just go to bed like freaking elderly people in my house. Anyway, this video is about semen retention. Back at it again. On day, it started January 5th, back on the journey. So today's day 63. Give me a second, y'all. Gotta close this door. The wind's blowing like crazy outside. Today is March 11th, March 12th. Yeah, man. Few key things that I just wanted to talk about while being on the semen retention journey. No fap, whatever you want to call it. Nah, actually, I call it semen retention because not really on a no fap journey. People that do no fap, obviously, yeah, they practice non-masturbation or whatnot, but they do ejaculate when they're with their spouse or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. That has its own benefits on its own. But one thing I wanted to talk about is, and I used to do this a lot too in the beginning of my journey, is putting this semen retention thing on a pedestal, meaning making it something that's just like so grand that you're holding on to it so tight. You know what I mean? You're looking not to bust a nut for no any reason. Even if your wet dreams, like you're stressing out about this. And I had a really negative relationship with myself when I was doing this at one point. It would stress me the fuck out. It'd leave me out of balance with me, right? Like, cause you'd be like, oh, I don't wanna have a wet dream, or I don't wanna lose any of the benefits. And But you gotta understand that this is a journey, and your body's gonna release fluid as you go, especially when you're like day 65. Like right now, I'm headed on day 65, and when you build up so much retention. I mean, some people it'll happen on day 80 for them, or day 120. But eventually, what happens is your body's gonna naturally release it, whether in a wet dream or whether you're in the shower or whatever. It's just gonna release fluid, and you gotta come to exception with that. And you can't hold on to something so tight where it just becomes a negative in your life. Because some people, they'll lose it on day 120 or something, and then they become very, very depressed with themselves. And that's not the purpose of this whole situation, right? Your whole purpose on building on semen retention or holding in seed, whether you're a male or female, if you're holding in seed, it's to develop the power that's within you, right? Developing that power that's within you, but also being able to transmute it by learning how to control your breath, by feeding your mind and your body with the nutrients necessary for you to evolve to that next creature, to that next avatar, right? Like this goes deeper than just receiving benefits, attraction, and all those things are cool, but nothing in this world should ever be out of balance. Like if you mess up or whatever and you're with your spouse or a significant other, someone of importance, and it's not just a slide, whether male or female, you know what I mean? You're not just trying to slide off just because you want to get your ego off. You know what I mean? You really have a spiritual connection with that other person, and you guys want to combine energy so you guys can heal one another. There's nothing wrong with releasing then. But if you're just going and you encounter one of these semen demons, like I like to call them, the reason I call them semen demons is because they will suck the soul out of you, and you will adopt their energy. You will open up a portal that they're of their subconscious being that they're not even aware of themselves, which is holding a lot of pain, which is holding a lot of depression, which is holding a lot of stress. And vice versa, it holds a lot of happiness and good things too. It's not just bad. But like when you're holding in a lot of energy, you are now responsible of that energy. You're responsible, meaning you gotta be mindful of what you're watching and what you're paying attention to. And I'm still learning this as I go. So like when I'm speaking to you guys, I'm really speaking to myself and I'm teaching me. You gotta be more responsible with your energy. You can't just be, I mean, I'm not saying don't do it, but like you can't just be randomly watching shit for hours and get in a hypnotic state where it just puts you in a bind. Like when you get into the shit like 60, 90 days and you're actually growing in those 90 days and you're just not holding shit just to hold it. Because when you hold it, it's going to transmute into something, whether frustration, anger, whatever you have in that back, whatever you have in your past that you haven't dealt with, whether it's pain, whether it's stress, whether you didn't forgive certain people, whether you're holding on resentment towards other people, that shit's going to manifest itself on a different level. And you got to be aware of that, because if you're not aware of that, you just think it's just you, and then you find yourself confused, and then you end up dabbling. You're like, oh, I need to go drink, or I need to go smoke, or I need to go do something. You know what I mean? What I find is that when you're not in control of the most important thing, which is your breath, you don't know how to control that, and you're not aware of that. You're not conscious of how you're breathing in certain situations. That shit could really play against you. You know what I mean? If you're not feeding yourself, like, right? Perfect example, if your sodium and your potassium levels are off, say if your sodium levels are high, you're eating pizza, you're eating chips, you're eating whatever, your your cells in your body is not able to communicate. So it's like you're gonna be out of balance with yourself, right? You're not gonna have the electricity, the current necessary for your body to operate at its top level. Your body's gonna go into acidic form. And when you're in acidic form, you're gonna be in a cloud. And when you're in that cloud, you become double-minded. When you become double-minded, you're gonna be back and forth, and you're gonna be more reactive than responsive. So you could find yourself more frustrated, more irritated with people quicker, opposed to if your body's balanced and it's alkaline. I'm not saying go vegan, I'm not saying go vegetarian. Eat how you want to eat, but make sure that ratio between sodium and potassium, you have more potassium, say like 3,500 milligrams of potassium opposed to 2,500 milligrams of sodium. And the reason this is just going to create that nice flow, and it's going to keep your electrolytes up, and it's going to keep you on a balanced keel. You know what I mean? It's going to allow you to control your decision. It's going to allow you to be responsive instead of reactive. You know what I mean? And you can look into that by yourself. If you guys want me to share more on that, then go ahead and comment below. But the key to this journey is balance, bro. Sis, bro, sis, whoever's watching this. The key to this journey is balance. Make sure, number one thing is focusing on your breathing. Don't hold this shit on a pedestal. Don't hold anything on a pedestal. You know what I mean? Make sure you're balanced. Eating, sleeping, everything. Sleeping part gets difficult, especially when you're doing this shit for a long time, because epinephrine kicks in, adrenal glands start going off. Some days you could go with 2 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, but your energy's endless for the whole day. So you just got to be mindful of those things. Yeah, man. Best thing that I've learned while on this journey is learning how to transform this energy, because that energy goes up within the first 14, 21 days. And sometimes you don't even know what the hell to do with yourself. You're like, God damn, I need to go do something. You know what I mean? But you got to focus on your breathing. Because say if you're still watching, you're still watching porno, right? What you're doing is you're killing your dopamine, right? So when you see when you come encounter with your spouse or your mate, whatever it is, you're not gonna see them in that same light. It's gonna deaden. It's gonna, you know what I mean? It's gonna fade. Like, it's not gonna excite you as it should. So that's why you got to be mindful of watching pornography. On top of that, you're opening up a different portal. I didn't understand this at one point. Like, I thought I was oblivious to this. You know what I mean? But you are opening up a subconscious portal to that person, and you're kind of trespassing. Regardless if they willingly themselves put it up there, you're still trespassing on a spiritual level. You'll understand that as you go along in this journey. But yeah, man, it's 9:35. I'll probably post another video. It's March 2021. Living in a crazy world. Man, just spend some time with yourself. Cold showers, hot and cold. Balance out your diet. Make sure you get some greens in there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying become vegetarian. I'm not saying become vegan, because I'm none of those things. I just like eating balanced, personally, just because it keeps my mind and my spirit right. But yeah, if you find yourself urging, right, craving to masturbate, but you want to start a journey, you're going to have to create a different challenge for yourself as well. Like, if you're struggling to go a few days without, masturbating or whatever it is, and your sex drive is very high, you got to pick up a different hobby, like something that's a little bit ultra. Maybe you got to do 100 push-ups. Maybe you got to go for a jog, or maybe you got to read 100 pages of a book. And those things sound like extremes, but you got to do those things, or meditate for 60 minutes. But you got to do an extreme to replace an extreme. It's just my opinion. But anyways, comment below, subscribe. Hope y'all having a blessed and beautiful day or evening or wherever you at. Go ahead, follow me on that link on Instagram. DM, DM me if anything, or just comment below, please.